just to quickly explain a bit about myself and what we're trying to achieve. So for those that end up watching this that don't necessarily know who I am, my name's Jack. I'm a specialist IT recruiter for the MCS group operating across the GB market. I suppose our ultimate goal has always been to become really embedded with the communities within every geography that we work in. So whether that be the south of England, USA, Ireland, or Northern Ireland, where we're headquartered, we really do love to get involved and support the tech communities. One of the best ways we do that is by telling the stories of some of the most successful and high potential companies and perhaps clients as well. And so today, Oliver, CEO of Fundsurfer, has kindly agreed to hop on with me. So I suppose as long as you're happy enough to kickstart us, Oliver, could you maybe tell me a bit about the background of your company and I suppose your story as an individual as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Love to. So Fundsurfer launched in 2014. My background had been in fundraising for quite a long time at that point. I had run music festivals, club nights. I was very much a born entrepreneur. You know, when I was in my teens, I was selling secondhand cars and all sorts. But with Fundsurfer, you know, I'd spent so much time fundraising and I had learned firsthand, you know, how difficult and challenging, you know, fundraising is. You know, a lot of people don't realize, a lot of entrepreneurs don't appreciate perhaps how difficult it can be to raise a round of investment. You know, you're looking at an average of 41 pitches before you get an offer of a term sheet. You know, lots of entrepreneurs, 10 rejections in, will think, well, that's it, you know, I'm in trouble. So, you know, I remember reading it was something like 55% of SMEs fund growth with credit cards. And to me, I just thought that was mind blowing. You know, how can it be that kind of a situation? So Fundsurfer is a funding and investment platform and business. We provide assistance with fundraising through online crowdfunding, community share offers, you know, helping, you know, charities, not-for-profits. And then the second sort of core part of our business is based around investor introductions, because so many entrepreneurs need help with sourcing capital. But equally, what we found is that from the smallest investor to the largest investor, they all needed help to source deals for deal origination. A lot of the family offices and VCs that we work with and angel investors, you know, they're looking for exceptional deals. They're looking for fantastic businesses. So if we can help take some of the work on through sourcing and pre-vetting, you know, Series A, Series B, through to pre-IPO investments, yeah, lots of these deals are deals that investors don't get access to. They'll read about them, you know, in the trades. But I've been in fundraising a long time. Fundsurfer's raised nearly $40 million for clients. We're looking to, ideally, we'd like to raise 100 million by the end of 2024. But I'm also, alongside being CEO of Fundsurfer, I'm a family office advisor, both for the Sangs Group, which is Hong Kong, London, family office, as well as being a strategic advisor for a Miami family office called LIGO Partners. We invested 320 million plus into growth stage equity in 2022. So all I do all day, every day, and all my team does is look at deals, talk to investors, look at projects, and look at where we can help on both sides.
Amazing. Well, thanks for sharing that. Then I suppose primarily focusing on Fundsurfer again, then I suppose what would you say are the main unique selling points of your company then?
Well, we're one of the first mainstream platforms to experiment with cryptocurrencies. We were the first European platform to offer crypto crowdfunding, launching in 2018, which was probably a little bit early for the space. You know, I've actually been in crypto since 2013, 2014. So I've been through a lot of crypto winters. I've seen a lot of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it's something that we believe in and we want to work with. So we're actually currently building a new payment platform for cryptocurrencies within our existing platform. But the main difference is that it's not just crowdfunding and online funding that we help with. We complement that with our access to investors. Almost all projects and companies that come through looking to crowdfund, maybe to raise 20, 50,000 to get started, they're inevitably going to require angel investment, VC, family office investment. So what really sets us apart as a USP is that we introduce investors directly and donors, as well as helping with online options, as well as grants and government funding. So Fundsurfer is a Reach Fund access point, which is a grant for up to 15,000 for CICs and charities and social enterprises. We can help them basically raise the funding they need to pay for a community share offer, to help to market that, help with putting a financial model or plan together. So we offer a real range of funding options, and that's what sets us apart, I think, is the biggest USP.
Amazing. Great. Well, obviously, primarily this conversation as well should be focused on sort of technology and stuff as well. So really keen to understand if we do focus on, I suppose, maybe perhaps your tech team currently, and just have a bit of a quick conversation surrounding the types of technologies that are used in perhaps Fundsurfer, and then a bit of a maybe if you could share some of the projects you might work on or will be working on in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, love to. So Derek Ahmedzheim is our CTO. He's a full stack developer and has built Fundsurfer, the platform, from scratch. We own all the source code. It's probably 1 million lines of code in Fundsurfer at this point, coming up to 10 years trading next year. So Derek, I come up with certain ideas or features or benefits we'd like to add to our platform to help our users, but Derek drives all of the development and manages that whole side of things. Probably one of the best tech integrations that we've achieved is our relationship with Stripe.
Okay.
So we were very early adopters of Stripe as a payment partner. This is going back to 2015. When it was more early days for them too.
Yeah, of course.
We recently completed the integration of Stripe Connect, which is just fantastic because it allows anyone with a Stripe account in 40 different countries can now use Fundsurfer, can now create an account, create a project, start fundraising. The tools that we've been able to integrate from Stripe alone are just amazing. I think they're a really, really fantastic business. We've been able to grow with them, so to speak. Nowhere near to the same scale, Stripe have done fantastically well. But yeah, they've been a great tech partner. And in terms of projects that we're working on, we launched our first community share offer last year. So we helped the People's Republic of Stokes Croft in Bristol for the Stokes Croft Land Trust. Raised 325,000 to buy a building. So that was our first community share off on the platform. So we have now one of 3 platforms. You have Crowdfunder, FX, now Fundsurfer can offer those. I think Triodos may have their own platform as well. But we're looking to expand the reach there. That's a big project for this year and next year is community energy. So there's no reason why we shouldn't have solar panels on every house in the UK. That's something that we're working on. We hope that wind turbines, onshore wind, will not be banned in the future, and we'll be able to help fund community energy with turbines, specifically for community farms. So we're doing quite a lot of work at the moment, helping farms diversify, add new revenue streams, do things differently. So that's exciting. And then we're hopefully going to launch next year our new cryptocurrency payments. Awesome. Those are the 2 main areas that we're working on right now as sort of key projects.
Okay. Well, I think you've sort of touched on that already, but I was going to ask then, I mean, even if you can go into a wider aspect, what are the future plans, and maybe touch on for people, what are some of the challenges that you've had to face, along the way, or will face potentially along the way?
Oh, well, probably the biggest challenge is that, we're a bootstrapping company still. We haven't taken any outside investments. So we've reinvested profits, we've grown the revenues of the business, and we've, funded growth and expansion and innovation through any, excess capital that we've had in the business. We self-funded the first few years. It was incredibly difficult. It's an ongoing challenge. All entrepreneurs have to be half crazy to even attempt it. In your first year, 90% likely of failure, all the way up to your 10th year, you're still 50% likely to fail. There's over 5.6 million SMEs in the UK. The biggest challenge is access to capital. But there's one of the biggest areas is that where people need help is it can be a really lonely road. Being a CEO and entrepreneur of a small business, of an SME, you face so many different challenges, whether that's securing enough capital, finding clients, expanding partnerships, just general accounting and admin and running of the business. So there's a lot of things that you can struggle with, but the key to that is asking for help. The secret sauce at Fundsurfer is that we pick up the phone. We kick in any door. We have no fear.
You sound like a recruiter.
We've got to be. You can't allow. You've got to be prepared to be rejected a lot, and to have a lot of no's along the road. You do need to have persistence and resilience. I think are the two key areas, two things that have carried us through. Because we've had lots of dates where we've had to say, okay, if we don't achieve this by this date, then the business is not going to make it. And it can, in one way, terrify you. In the other way, it galvanizes you to look at things in a particular way to solve the problem and fix things. But yeah, it's ongoing. It's not an easy road. It's, being an entrepreneur has been made to look quite glamorous in some ways, and lots of people just want to be an entrepreneur, but you've got to be prepared to put in the work and effort. You can have talent, but if you don't hone that talent or put the work in, then, it can be wasted. So from our side, the biggest advice I can give would be to not give up. I know it sounds cliched, but you have to be able to push through the storm, but not to allow yourself to be so influenced by positive and negative outcomes in the business. By that, I mean, if things are looking good, don't get too carried away. If things are looking bad, give it 24 hours, sleep on it, see how it looks the next day. Things can change, especially in deal making and investments. You can be feeling really great, things are looking brilliant. Oh dear, things are looking bad. And then you're up and it's down, up and it's down. If you strap yourself into the roller coaster, so you feel every up, every down, you're gonna burn out. And it becomes really difficult to manage. You have to look after your mental health, get out into forests, get into nature, take what you can when you need it. And don't think that putting in 18 hours every day is necessarily the right way to do it. I'm not saying we didn't do that every day for years, because we did put 12 to 18 hour shifts in, too much. You've got to get a balance between things. So yeah, there's just a few little.
No, of course. I was going to ask. My next question was meant to be advice for anyone, I suppose, going through the startup phase in terms of starting up a company. So I think you've already answered that. So I'll finish off with perhaps a quick question, just I suppose around your tech team. You mentioned your CTO earlier, but how big is your tech team, and what would be the plans perhaps for growth in that area?
Yeah, so right now we have Derek as a bit of a one-man army. He has to take on quite a lot. We have other devs that we can work with that usually, outsource external consultants. But we'd like to expand the team. This year, we'd like to add a couple of devs, certainly running into next year, because we've got quite a lot of heavy lifting that we need to do on the platform. And we also need to bring in UX experts and specialists and design specialists. So we need to expand that team quite significantly. We're stronger with sales, marketing, business development, comms. We've got a head of impact, head of investor relations. But the dev team is the team that needs the most support and expansion right now, I would say, to take some weight off Derek's shoulders.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Well, look, 100%. That's all from me anyway. I just want to thank you, obviously, for taking the time today, and I can say for one, I'm certainly excited to see how Fundsurfer grows over the next couple of years as well. I'll certainly be keeping an eye on it myself.
Appreciate the time, Jack, and
No,
thanks for inviting me on.